What's up, boxing fans? This is TBE Boxing, back at you again. Today's topic, Berchelt versus Valdez, the pre-fight analysis. Let's chop it up and see what it's all about.
Got them out of a minute, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? That life for riches, huh? That life for riches, huh? Pretty bitch, show me titties, huh? And I got the glazzy run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.
Okay, boxing fans, let's talk some boxing. All right, so tonight, in a couple of hours, the Berchelt versus Valdez fight is coming on, and we're gonna chop it up. All right, let's get right to it. So Valdez is the next man to step in the ring with Berchelt. Several have stepped in there before, and several have failed. Now, the question we have to ask ourselves is this: what is it that Valdez is bringing to this fight that none of those other guys have brought to Berchelt? And based on the fights that he's had before, that is Berchelt, we'll have to say, to answer that question is not really much. I mean, from my point of view, I would think that everything that Valdez is going to bring to this fight, Berchelt has seen it before, and I've basically handled it. So unless Valdez is bringing something that we totally unexpected that we don't know about, I don't see this fight ending up any different than the other people that challenge Berchelt for his title. Okay, I think that Valdez is gonna come up short in this fight. Now, how is the fight gonna end? Is a good question. More than likely, it probably end with a stoppage by Berchelt, because again, I don't see Valdez's defense and offense being enough to really hold Berchelt off. Okay, I think that Berchelt is gonna eventually wear down Valdez and more than likely stop him. I mean, it could go the distance, but I think it would be unlikely. Okay. Again, I just want to, I don't want to beat the dead horse, but I'm just not seeing anything that Valdez has, that Berchelt has not seen before. He's not bringing anything, particular to this fight that I'm thinking that Berchelt is going to have any kind of difficulty with. Okay, I mean, Berchelt, has seen mostly everything. Okay, not everything, but he has seen mostly everything. So, when we look at the advantages and the disadvantages, I mean, he has fought many guys like Valdez before. I mean, but has Valdez faced anybody like Berchelt? No. So at the end of the day, when we look at, I mean, Berchelt, for a 130-pounder, he got the perfect frame. Okay, he's not overly tall, but he's not short. Okay, he's got perfect, proportions body-wise, good reach. Okay, good strength, good upper body strength, as well as good legs. He can move on his legs if he has to move. He can fight inside. He can fight mid-range. He can fight from the outside. So, I mean, Berchelt is an all-around boxer puncher, basically. And, he's not the prettiest guy in there. I mean, he does look a little awkward and seems like he's thrown, sometimes he looks like he's thrown punches off balance. But, nobody has been able to take advantage of him to this point. I mean, he might look like he's off balance. He might look a little awkward, but, he delivers. And, those shots that he be delivering on his opponents, are vicious. And so, I mean, he's not the fastest puncher in the world, but he's not the slowest either. So basically, just an all-around great boxer puncher. And I'm thinking that Valdez, he's good. I mean, he's a scrappy guy in there. But again, his defense is not the best. His offense It's nothing that I mean that Berchelt has not seen to this point. So I'm just a little, I'm just not seeing what is it he's gonna bring to the table that's gonna, dethrone Berchelt at this point in time. I mean, maybe he can surprise him by starting off fast and hurting Berchelt, immediately in the fight. But we're gonna have to see how that works out for him. Because at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of these guys, I don't really think that the only guy I'm looking at right now out there, I think might give Berchelt some problems is probably, a guy like maybe Gary Russell Jr. if he was to ever, move up to 130 pounds, but he doesn't seem like he's willing to do that. Berchelt's been there for years, and he hasn't made any attempt to move up and fight Berchelt. He can move up and fight Berchelt right away because they're both WB, BC champs, but he hasn't made any attempt at doing that, and so I mean, at the end of the day, Gary Russell has basically stayed down at 126 and in the relative safety of his 126-pound featherweight hidey hole, and has been calling people out, all the way up to heavyweight. He said he had heavyweight shook. He called out Terrence Crawford. He called out Devin Haney. But at the end of the day, he hasn't moved an inch from 126 pounds to make any of those fights a reality. So, Gary Russell, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be, that he wants any smoke. He talks a good game, but that's about it. More bark than bite. But yeah, so Berchelt, I think that, he should win this fight. And I don't think it's gonna go the distance. The only guy I see out there that's a heavy threat to Berchelt is a guy like what's his name? Shakur Stevenson. Okay, a young kid like him, young, good defense, good offense, slick. That's the only kind of guy I see that can really beat Berchelt. In terms of, you have to, in order to beat Berchelt, you're gonna have to be a guy that makes him miss. Okay, you have to make Berchelt miss his punches, and then you have to make him pay. Okay, so if you can slip Berchelt and you can, your offense, can, connect, then you have a chance of beating him. You're gonna have to make him miss constantly, and you're gonna have to do it for the whole fight. Okay, because he's a very offensive fighter, and he doesn't seem to get tired in there. Good conditioning. So in order to beat Berchelt, you got to be able to make him miss. You got to have great defense against a guy like Berchelt to beat him, and then you got to punish him when he misses. And the only guy I really see that can probably do that is Shakur Stevenson. So until that fight comes around, I don't think Berchelt is going to be in any trouble in terms of of fighting. I think that he's gonna beat most guys that come up against him, and like I said, Gary Russell might have a chance against him because Gary Russell is a good boxer, and he could make you miss, and he has pretty good defense, but then again, the height difference might be an issue for him, okay, against a guy like Berchelt, who is constantly on the offense. So I don't know. That would be a great fight. That would be a tough fight for both guys, I would think. But it's a 50-50 fight as far as I can see. It'd be hard for me to say who'd win in a fight like that. So I don't really see Valdez as having the skill of a guy like Gary Russell, whether it's offense or defense. And so I don't really see him beating Berchelt at this point in his career. But, you never know. I mean, anything could happen. Maybe he has some kind of secret strategy that he's going to be using tonight in this fight. And he could, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible for Valdez to win this fight. I'm just saying it's not likely, and I don't really see what he's going to bring to the table that's going to be able to defeat Berchelt at this point in Berchelt's career. I just don't. I'm just not seeing it. Okay, I mean, this fight would kind of remind me of the Sosa fight and the Berchelt fight. Sosa was a good guy. He had some good skills. He came in there. He had a height disadvantage, but he came in there and was trying to, to do basically what I'm thinking the fight is going to go something similar to that. I don't know if, I mean, Sosa took a lot of punishment in that fight. Berchelt wore him down. I don't know if, Valdez can take that kind of punishment and still stay, I don't really see Valdez defense being any better, but we don't know. I mean, he's, you know, REYNOSO is his trainer. Supposedly he's been like lately. I saw him, you know, a clip. He was training with you know, what's the big boy in the stable over there, REYNOSO, you know, CARNE-LO. So you know, maybe Canelo is showing him some moves, and you know, maybe it's something that we don't know about that he's gonna come there with, and we're gonna see something, you know, different than we've seen so far with all the fighters that came, you know, to take on Berchelt and ended up, you know, getting stopped, you know. So, but you know, I mean, again, I doubt it. So we'll see. I mean, it should be a decent fight while it lasts. Okay. Valdez is a tough customer. Okay. He definitely, if he goes down, he's gonna go down fighting. That's for sure. You know. But I'm thinking he's gonna go down, fighting or no fighting. So I mean, I don't want to be, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, be pessimistic about his chances, but I have to be realistic as well. But like again, I said, anything could happen. It's a boxing match. One punch could change a fight, and so it's conceivable that he could bring something, you know, that I'm not seeing, out, you know, the rest of us are not seeing, and he can, you know, conceivably, you know, win this fight against Berchelt. But I just don't see it happening. I think that Berchelt is gonna basically stop him, and you know, move on to the next one. So, you know, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm definitely gonna watch it, see how it plays out. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm gonna leave it there. Good luck to both guys tonight, and we'll see. You know, may the best man win. But like I said, I'm gonna leave it there. This is TBE Boxing. I'm out.